Guys, while we all thought the apocalypse was going to get us, we missed Starmergeddon. We are officially in Starmergeddon. Guys, I'm going to talk briefly about this smoking ban, and then I'm going to tell you what I think is, really happening. In fact, yeah, we'll talk about the smoking ban first. So first of all, when I saw this yesterday on the, it came out on the, on tomorrow's papers last night. I was like, right, okay, there's got to be more to it than that. It's got to be something like, one of these isolated incidents where, if you're smoking and you've got a kids event or something. But no. It seems like now, if you're on the way to a football match, you are not allowed to smoke. I want to caveat this by saying I don't think people should smoke anyway. I don't smoke. I never have. I've tried, obviously. It's like being kicked in the lung. Nothing good comes from it. But if people want to smoke, who are the government to tell them that they can or cannot smoke? I mean, honestly, guys, what comes next? Only allowed having 2 pints in the pub? This is literal communism. This is how Stalin treats his people. If I wanted a dictator, I would go and apply for a visa in North Korea. However, let's talk about it. So, so basically, for those of you who don't know, Keir Starmer's come out and he did an interview earlier. I saw this with my own eyes, guys, with my own eyes. He's saying there's 80,000 people a year that are dying with smoke-related illnesses, and he didn't really walk anything back. And you've got to think fair play to Starmer. He is not listening to anyone, is he? He's just going for it. Let's see what a state he can make this country in such a little time. So we've got this smoking ban now that looks like it's going to come into force in the United Kingdom. And again, this is me speculating. Nothing's official yet, although Keir Starmer did say that they're looking at this. So people are speculating that this is going to be a ban in smoking areas. So I don't know what they'll have to be refurbished to. Maybe, I don't know, CrossFit areas or something. There's going to be a ban in smoking areas. There's going to be a ban walking towards a football game. There's going to be, just various bans. Now, I totally get it, right? I've seen people smoking in the playground and you look at them and you're like, when you're waiting to pick, I don't mean kids. I mean, when you go to pick your kids up from primary school or whatever, there's always some ruffians in the corner smoking or something. And you do, guys. You shouldn't be smoking near kids. That goes without saying. But we don't live in a society where you can just, tell people what they can and can't do for no other reason than you feel like it. This is, it's not even the totalitarian tiptoe anymore. This is literally the totalitarian last-minute sprint because I can see the finish line. It's absolutely insane. Also, I found out today, guys, and this has turned into a bit of a Starmer rant. Also, I found out today that Keir Starmer has taken down a picture. Guys, speculation. I don't know if this is true. It's a lot of people online are saying it. Keir Starmer has apparently taken down a picture of Margaret Thatcher from Downing Street or whatever. Now, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm from Rotherham in the north of England, and we had huge miners' strikes in the 80s, and, she wasn't a very popular person. But looking back on her premiership, whether you like her or not, go and listen to some of, in fact, I'll put some links in the description to this video. Go and listen to her talk. Listen to how she articulates herself. Listen to the way she presents herself and she comes across. Remember, I'm very critical of the government at the moment. I'm very critical of David Lammy. Can you imagine David Lammy having to negotiate with Margaret Thatcher? He wouldn't stand a chance, because of the way she holds herself, the way she articulates, the way she can get her point across. And even, I doubt Jordan Peterson would even be able to argue with her. She was an absolutely fantastic statesperson, a politician. And, guys, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say she was the last great British Prime Minister. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Yeah, I will. I'll stick by that, guys, and I will go and I will jump on my sword at that. You know, look at what, you know, look at the Falklands Islands, for example, when Argentina invaded the Falkland Islands in, what was it, 82. 3 days, she sent a task force down there to go and take them back. It took her 3 days, 3 days of administration, and she went and did it. She wasn't questioning anything, and she gave the authority to the commanders to go down there and take it back. Just go back, take it back, you know, whatever it takes, whatever's necessary, go and get that back. Now, of course, you can argue the Falklands, Antarctica, oil, whoever controls the Falklands controls Antarctica and controls the minerals there. But that's what happened, you know. Can you imagine any of our half-baked political class being able to tie their shoelaces in 3 days? Regardless, you know, put a plan together to go and take back, you know, to go and fight a war thousands of miles away from home to an invading army that is 400 miles away from their own shores. So, you know, you can kind of see the difference there between Margaret Thatcher and, you know, and Keir Starmer. And probably the reason why he's taking it down is because she had more balls than he ever will. Anyway, guys, so I think secretly what Keir Starmer is doing, and this is genius. You know how when your family are all at loggerheads. You know, your mum's not talking to your sister, your dad won't talk to your brother, nobody will talk to you, you know, and people are not talking. Or in your friendship groups when people are not talking to each other. You know, your cousin, they did something and they've not given you the money back, and they broke something and his kids come round and, you know, he fell off the washing line and now it's broken and then the millwall went through the window. You know what I'm talking about, guys. You know, when there's this animosity in a family, what brings that family back together? Outside adversity will always bring that family back together. So I'm hoping that Keir Starmer is going to come out on national TV and say, right, guys, are you all friends now? And then we all say, yeah, we're all friends now because we've come together and we're united against the common enemy, which is you. And then he'll say, right, it was all a ruse, guys. I did this to unite you guys because, you know, I know that, well, guys, we're clutching at straws, aren't we? The reality is, you know, Keir Starmer's popularity rating has dropped from what I would gather from the mainstream. It's dropped to -16. I don't know how that even happens. I mean, -16. Guys, I don't even understand these, you know, how somebody's not saying to him, Keir, listen, mate, you need to dial it back a bit with these draconian measures because you're not really going down too well. And it really does, guys. I've given this analogy before. It really does remind me of, you know, I mean, it reminds me of when the Brits were fighting the Americans. You know, the Brits were going from like ancient tactics and they were forming square, forming line, using formations that they'd used previously. And the Americans, obviously fighting for their homeland, fighting for their ground, fighting for their women, their children, their land. They were using guerrilla tactics. They were in the tree lines. They were doing long range shooting. They were taking people out, you know, and the British officer class wouldn't listen to the ranks. You know, the British officer class would just standing there in their total arrogance and contempt for their own soldiers. They wouldn't listen, you know, they didn't listen to their own ranks. They didn't listen to what they were saying. You know, these guys, they were saying, listen, like, you know, sir, can we go and fight in the woods where these people are? Because, you know, they're shooting at us and we're taking a lot of casualties. And, you know, the officers they wouldn't let it happen. They would say, no, form rank, form line. And they just wouldn't do that. So, and that's what, you know, that's why we lost. Because, you know, the upper echelons, the officer class, and it was different to it is now with the military, you know, they wouldn't listen to the rank and file soldiers. And that's kind of what you can see right now. You know, these people who are in charge of us, apparently, they've got to have ears on the ground. They've got to have people who are coming up to them and saying, listen, Keir, yeah, these policies you're making, mate, they're not really going down well. You know, if we don't want if we don't want thousands of people with pitchforks bashing the gate down, it's we kind of need to dial this back. I've said it before, I've said it again. I don't think Keir Starmer is gonna last long. But the more terrifying thing is Angela Rayner would have to step up, and she's going to be even worse. She's somebody who's. Well, I'm not going to get into Angela Rayner, guys. I think it'd be unfair. I'll wait till she's in a position for me to do that. Guys, that's the situation on the ground at the moment. We are literally living in Starmergeddon. I thought it was going to be the Russians. Little did I know, it turns out to be Starmergeddon. Guys, that's it. I'm going to mag to grid. If you like these videos, please like, please share, please follow me. We're on multiple platforms now down here. In fact, hang on, have I got one? Yeah, we are. Please give us a like, please give us a follow, share my stuff. Really appreciate it when you do that, guys. And quickly, sorry guys, if you're here already and you've stuck this far, we're thinking about going live on this platform. Is that something you guys would like to see? We used to do it on another platform, but it was difficult. The connection was never right. We had to move around a bit. And now with this platform, we've got best on YouTube. It's got, the software that enables it. It's a lot better. You can have multiple cameras. You can have a better setup. Whereas on the other one, you're literally just going off your phone, and it's a little bit difficult to, to navigate. But anyway, guys, that's the question to you guys. Do you want us to start going live, maybe outside, having a barbecue or something on a Friday night, and just, see where we go with it, guys? Like, we can build a community together. Everybody can talk, see what's happening. We can look online and see what's happening in the world together, and we'll figure this out, and we'll figure this stuff out together. Anyway, guys, that's it. Starmergeddon's here. I'm going to mag to grid.